Hello clay addicts, this is Maddie from Mud Clay Studio working remotely from my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make our next project in the Curbside Clay series, which will be a weaving bowl. Each project is $35 and you can choose your glaze color, which is orange, yellow, green, sapphire, grape, and pink. You can return to glaze for $15 once restrictions have been lifted. Please let us know if you are going to drop off your projects and allow 3 weeks for firing. We will not email you when they are ready, but we will let you know a ready by date. I will be posting new projects in the coming days and weeks straight from my kitchen. Keep in mind, once you are working with the clay, you have limited time to rework it, so wrap it up in plastic when you are not using it. Do not put the clay in the oven and do not paint it. Your projects must return to Mud Clay Studio to be fired and will be food safe after it is fired. All clay washes out of your clothes, and post your creations on any social media platform using hashtag MudClayStudioNJ. You will be entered into a raffle to win a free walk-in hand building session. Alright, hello everybody. This is Maddie from Mud Clay Studio. Today what I'm going to show you guys is how to make a weaved bowl or a woven bowl using clay. This is the sample that I wanted to show you guys. You're going to need a couple extra things from your house, but nothing too aggressive. So this is a woven project. I'm going to show you guys how you're going to do this. And again, we're kind of layering the clay over and under, and you also want to make a handle as well for this. These are really good for like fruit if you're cleaning things, or strawberry bowls, things like that. Also keep in mind, when you guys drop off your pieces, you want to tell us what glaze you want to make it. These are our samples. So we're going to dip your pieces in the glaze. Couple things that you're going to need. Paper plate. It could be plastic, it could be real, it's entirely up to you. I'm just going to use a paper plate for today. You're also going to need a plastic bag. The reason why is you don't want the clay to stick to this. Okay, you want the clay to release, so that's what the plastic bag is for. And I'm just going to kind of wrap it in and set it off to the side. Alright, so a couple other things. We're going to need slip. Okay, you have slip jars in your kits. I have a brush to brush on my slip. I also have my trusty wooden spoon that is very helpful. I have my plastic utensils, which are a little worse for the wear, but I love reusing them. So fork, knife, spoon. I have a pencil. Okay, so in your kits, you should also see one of these. It's called a straight edge. You can also use a ruler to do this. And what you're going to be doing is you want to make pieces of clay that are this long by this wide. And you can do this by laying it on your clay and then starting from the edge and working your way up. So again, I have my straight edge. I'm just kind of, just like you would trace around a ruler. Oh, there's my puppy shaking around, waking up from his nap. Okay, so I am going all the way down my clay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this guy. So again, we're going all the way down, all the way down, all the way. If they're not straight, it's not the end of the world. We're just tracing them out. You can always go back and go, ooh, look, oh, so much better. Okay. And this side's a little trickier because I'm a righty and I'm not used to working on the left side. We'll go away from us. Perfect. Much better. Away. You can make them a little thinner. I wouldn't make them any thicker just because it's going to be tougher to kind of pick them up. You also want to do this when the clay is soft. It's a lot easier to weave. Alright, so now we're going to put our pieces off to the side. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay. We have our little guy. Alright, so Now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to actually, the great thing about plastic bags, they're very useful for clay. Not so great for the environment, but really helpful for us. It keeps stuff wet. Oh, there's Puppy. Hi, bud. All right. So I'm just going to kind of lay it on as easily as I can. You guys can kind of see it rather than that double wrap. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my pieces. Always make the biggest one in the middle. So you can put this guy over here because he doesn't quite reach the end. Here's the other guy. Okay. All right, and you want to make them close enough where you can kind of see the layers as you go, but you want to make them far enough for them to kind of reach. All right, so now this is when you go in the other direction. I have my longest piece in the middle. Okay, now this is, I would always say, make your biggest one in the middle, and then you're going to start picking them up and dropping them down. Picking them up, dropping them down. Picking them up, dropping them down. So now you can kind of see where the weaving is going to start. Okay, so that's my first piece. Then now the next, this is when things start getting tricky and people are always like, oh, I think I made a mistake. So if you go over this piece, you're going to go under, this piece is going to go under, okay? So it's opposites. So it's over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and then you're going to press it, okay? Again, if it's okay if it goes up, it's just, you want to make sure over, under, over, under, over, under, all right? So now if this guy is over this guy, now I'm going to go press this down, pull this up. If it stretches out, it's okay. And again, we want soft clay because if you do this with dry clay, it's going to break. I know, Bromley. We'll play later. Bromley wants to play. Okay. So again, pressing. So now I have my woven bowl. All right, so this is going to go in the end. Again, over, under, over, under, over, under. And again, press. Now, some of you are like, you're not slipping and scoring. It's okay because we're going to put a piece around the edge so then you don't even have to worry about it. And just kind of press these pieces in to that plate mold. This is also a great time to kind of trim off any of that extra stuff. So I'm just kind of going around. It's good to listen to music too when you're doing these things. Not the news. Turn off the TV. Get muddy. All right. Usually I have my pin tool, so it's a little easier, but you can use the knife to do it. Honestly, you can also use a pencil. Pencils work too. All right, so now I have my basic woven plate shape. And I know I said, hey guys, don't worry about those edges and slipping and scoring them because we're going to slip and score. We're going to take all of this and we're going to squish it back together. Put this off to the side. And we are going to make a coil with all this guy. Especially because it's so soft, it's really good for kind of squishing. Squish, 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 squish. All right. You just have to slide even more. You're in the way. All right, so the other thing is, see how this guy is nice and long? If you want it to be on the flattish side, you can also just run a rolling pin over it. So you guys can kind of see how it looks. I have a few air bubbles in there. That's okay. I'm going to squish them out. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plate back. Okay. And you're going to slip and score all of the edge pieces. Going all the way around. All the way around. All the way around. And then go all the way down. Okay. Now this is the slip, so I'm going to just add some slip onto this. And then we're going to press. Now I'm just pressing these together, and this is going to lock all those pieces into place. You can even just flip it over, kind of check it out from the other side. It's very soft clay, so it's going to divot down like this, but this is a really good way to kind of see where you can trim things up a little bit. Make things a little smaller. Where you need a little bit more attention. You can also kind of press it in. Trusty sponge, damp, not wet. Just going all the way around, pressing it in. All right, so now this is when you would put the plastic back on the plate. And then put the plate back on the clay, and then peel it up very gently. Some people say I'm not very gentle with their clay, but it always tends to come out the way it's supposed to. All right, so again, smoothing out this side. So you get that lip. Now, at this point, you can also add the handles onto the edges. We have this extra clay. You can even just cut out some of that extra stuff that we didn't use before. And then slip and score this on. Kind of press it. Another thing is if you want it to be on the rounder side, squish it, make that coil again. And then we do our little roller. All right, and then you would slip and score this on too. So there's lots of options. I'm gonna leave this up to you guys. Final thing, you can always decorate this even more by drawing into it. But I think this is pretty awesome woven float. Almost looks like a pie. I'm gonna rinse out my fresh fruit onto it. All right, so this is the woven plate project. If you guys have any questions, please contact us at clay@madisonmud.com, and be well.